Testing.
Yeah, sweet.
Cool. Is it going now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I'll pee first, but
I just wonder with
that's
that
fine.
background light, it's not the best. We
It's
probably
just the sun. I don't think we can do much about it.
If you go down to your left, and I'll sit closer to the table. Hey guys, this is the Boh Sho, How to Change the World edition, and we've got Logan again. We're gonna sit down and chat. Not even sure what topics we're gonna talk about.
Yeah. How about like that?
Yeah, nice.
That works. Can you hear me alright?
Yeah, all good.
Sweet.
Lovely. Yeah, so we it's been a bit of maybe a week since we did a podcast. So
A week? Wow.
I had my cousin sent me a message saying, "How come you haven't done any podcasts?" he actually enjoys listening to them.
Yeah, wow.
So
that's cool.
That's
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, exactly. So I was like,
Yeah.
"Alright."
Hello, Bo's
This
cousin.
is
To meet
hello
you,
Ben.
Kind of.
Ben.
Hello.
Yeah. So, but yeah, what are we going to talk about?
What about I mentioned the other day, like just the theme, like the art of or the role of play in life, maybe.
Yeah, the role of play. I like it.
I've been considering it a little bit. What, even like, well, I was saying before, like having the lens, just living your life kind of like a movie, a game, or a book, but just I guess stepping into archetypes, like character archetypes in your life, embodying different themes, I guess. And yeah, just as an example, like I was saying before, just
characters, embodying characters.
Yeah. Like I was saying, like before I kind of went, camping and traveling a bit. I was playing a lot of Red Dead Redemption 2. It's like an awesome game. You're a cowboy. You go around. You can set up camp anywhere, cook your food, and it's very immersive. And I love that lifestyle. I was like, shit, I want to be a cowboy.
Right.
I'm gonna. So yeah, I basically just loaded up. I traded in my bike for a big fat like cruiser, like a Harley style bike, Kawasaki Vulcan. Yeah, you know what's up. But yeah, I bought all this camping gear, loaded everything I own onto the back in duffel bags, and just rode down south. Ended up just staying in a hostel, just doing farm work, and it was pretty like brutal farm work. My first experience doing it. I never really worked with my body so much. So that was so rough. But like I loved it at the same time. Like it was very hard, but it was like an enjoyable hardness because I was in that cowboy archetype. I was like, yeah, this is my life now. And just cruising into a country town for the first time with a fully loaded motorcycle with a rumble, it felt good just being that archetype.
Right.
And I learned from that.
Yeah,
and you can step into different archetypes, and it's fun, and it makes life fun too, even when it's a hard period.
Yeah.
Depending on the archetype you step into and the kind of energy you want to embody.
Do you know what is there's the 10 Commandments? Go deep into the religion straight away.
Cowboys, religion. Yeah.
But the 10 Commandments, one of the commandments is like, thou shalt not have idols.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I'm messing that up a bit.
Yeah, you're having like that is an idol.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Right. But then also
cowboy idol.
But archetype work is a whole thing as well. I mean, I think the whole goal of spirituality in general is to rise above all that, rise above the ego and, be the watcher and embody your higher self, which is good. I think it's like, a good mission to do and what we strive for. But it can also be fun, like while you're in the human, while you're in the ego, play around with the ego, It's not always bad, you can have fun with it, but also embodying your higher self.
Yeah.
I think you can do both.
Yeah, it's funny, I've thought a lot about this, so it's interesting that you talk about this, like, you're calling it archetype, but it's this character.
True, yeah.
It's like, and so you could almost imagine we are in a video game, right? Like, it's like, this is just the best video game.
True, yeah.
You're
very immersive.
When you play video games, you're playing a video inside a video game.
Yep.
Right? And that's why I was never like. It's beautiful because you can experience things you may not experience in this world. Like,
true,
you can go ride a horse off like in that game, but like there's some amazing games. You know that game? It's like a total space world.
There's a few games like that.
Eon or something.
Eve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's massive.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Right? You can cruise like across the universe, the galaxies.
I used to play a game very similar to it called Elite.
Elite.
And it's the same kind of thing, but it's in first person. And you can connect it to a VR set.
Right.
So you're in the spaceship. And you've got the
Yeah.
controls. And just flying through. You can
Right.
go get a job as a hauler, basically a space trucker.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because it's not... some of the jobs like that aren't super engaging. It's not all... you're just a space trucker. You're just cruising through. And,
But time.
that's
like,
it.
Can you speed
Yeah.
time up? Like go on
not really in that game, no.
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 So it just takes time.
Yeah, no, you literally sit there, you just cruise along in your spaceship. But then that is the experience, like a slow burn game,
Yeah.
Yeah, I also think they're kind of like guided meditations, a lot of them can be. It's,
Sure.
yeah,
was
their whole experience.
When I was a kid, my dad had, you know the movie The Hunt for the Red October?
No, I
You
haven't
ever
seen it.
that? Fucking great movie. Ah, yeah. Yeah. But there was a video game. And I played the video game. Yeah. So
What was
like,
it?
It's a story of stealing a nuclear Russian submarine.
Right.
Basically the captain, Sean Connery, is he's Russian, but he wants to defect. So he steals this.
He's rushing away.
But it's, if I remember correctly, it's like he's rushing away. He's trying to get to the States, but he doesn't know how to alert the Americans that he's friendly. He's trying to tell them that he's friendly.
Sounds familiar,
and then
actually.
The
I think I've heard
Russians
about this movie.
chasing him.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, but you got to play the game.
Yeah, I didn't know that
as,
game on
as
it.
the
That's
submarine commander.
Right.
Yeah, I remember that was quite good. Really
Mm.
fun. And then a game I played, Leisure Suit Larry and Lounge of the...
cool. Is it good? Is it really good?
No, it wasn't that good, but it was the first...
It's famous.
It's
Yeah.
Leisure Suit Larry, Land of the Lounge Lizards.
Yep. It's not
But it
hasn't
was-
aged well.
No, it hasn't. It's- But like for what it was like mind blowing.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, like people spent a lot of time playing it.
Mm.
And there was all little secret ways to get to that next level, and
Yeah.
it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I
That
think
was
they've evolved like amazingly over.
Showing my age, exactly.
Yeah, like there's some beautiful games out there. Not some of them, can be mindless, just like mindlessly, just shooting enemies or something. But some of them are beautiful experiences, like immersive and
There's a lot of things to learn.
definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
I've learned a lot of lessons from some good games.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely.
Did you play? What about Grand Theft Auto?
I've played it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fun.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's a fun story. Yeah, it's like a
Yeah.
cool crime story. But you do get that open world freedom, so it's completely up to you what you want to do.
Right.
Which is why it gets the bad rap, because you
Yeah.
can just go around
Yeah.
killing people, just
Yeah.
driving around.
Anything you want.
But the story's actually got some substance to it.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
very interesting.
Yeah, nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
and this is my, like, we don't know what we're doing to kids, right? They're playing video games all day long,
Yeah.
and they're online.
That
They're
was
not
me.
outside.
I was that kid.
Right. Okay. Cool. So you're an example of that
Mhm.
generation.
Pretty much.
So you turned out alright.
Yeah. Well, I think it like anything,
Yep.
it can be easily abused and easily used for it's all about intention,
Yes. Yep.
And the way I saw it was, I kind of see like you were saying before, you're in a game, you're in an experience, you're playing as a character, right? And then every time you stop and take your attention elsewhere, you come back and you're the person on the couch playing the game.
Yep.
And then you go back into the game, you swap games, you come out, you go back in. And if you keep doing that enough times as someone's growing up, it's kind of training the brain to step back. So what if you do it again?
Yep.
Like you come back to the person in the couch, us now, but then your brain wants to step back again.
Yep.
And it's like a little key to spirituality.
Yeah.
Directly
right.
from gaming.
Yeah, I
So
like it.
it's got some
Really interesting.
merits about it too. It's how
Yeah.
you use it. And
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
That's what I felt. There's actually a lot of benefits from gaming, and I'll give you one example. Is just like how to use money.
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
Definitely.
Kids, like
Yeah.
see my kids, they're always buying. Like they're into my son. Anyway, he's a gamer, and he loves the first-person shooter. But
Very quick dopamine hits.
yeah, but also like spatial awareness.
Oh, true. And
You know, there's-
what's the word? coordination.
Coordination.
Yeah, you get
Yeah.
fast
And
reactions. It can
Totally,
build that.
and they're working as a team.
Yeah,
You know, they're
definitely.
all
Yeah.
online talking to each other.
Yep.
Like that.
Coordinating with your friends.
Yeah, and people all
definitely.
over the world.
Yep.
So hang on a sec. Is that a bad thing?
Mm.
I don't know. I think like everything, if you do too much, it becomes
Definitely, yeah.
dangerous.
Well, because it is very like dopamine. A lot of games can be. It's very easy to abuse and get sucked into that. You know,
Right.
you need more.
Yeah.
And yeah, especially as I think that's why kids have a lot of problems as well with gaming. Is because they haven't had the life experience or learned how to manage that.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
They're
That's
just
what you
experiencing
have to
it.
teach.
There's no regulations about it, and the parents don't really understand what's going on. They just see, you know, gaming. Oh, it's bad for them, but they're really just being oversaturated with it. Need to learn managing techniques.
Right, but then
and it
that
can be
applies
usefully
to
good.
life.
Definitely, yeah.
Because it
100%.
could be a cannabis addiction.
Yeah, true.
Right.
Yeah.
Learning to know when to say no, or it's being abused.
Yep.
Or it's and that applies to sugar. Everything, coffee.
Definitely, yeah. Maybe that's something we should be looking at with
Right.
the next generation. Is like
Yeah. What are the
equipping tools with
Yeah.
self-regulating emotions and
Yep.
and dopamine and things like that.
Yep.
And just shedding some light on it.
Yep.
Start to build that understanding.
100%.
Because even like with me and a lot of people I know and a lot of people in my generation too, people mostly learn that after school, where they're thrown into the real world and they're like, shit, I have to adapt or put on weight and just like numb myself. You know, you don't really have an option. It's like sink or swim. There's no tools.
Yeah.
I mean, rarely there is tools.
where
Sometimes there
gaming
is, but
might be teaching these kids
yeah,
like life skills in a way, right? If you play Grand Theft Auto and there's some bad person, I don't know, do they relate it to seeing a bad person in real life and see, like, clue in before they need to experience that bad person? Like, they already know. I don't know. Maybe, yeah, these are the things we haven't got answered. And I've always questioned this, is online, YouTube, like, because YouTube's been immensely beneficial for me.
yeah,
I love it. I've learned so much because I can find what I want when I want it. And to me, that's also for kids. Like TikTok. I see my kids scanning through TikTok, but every video has a little bit of a message in it. And
I think it depends on who makes it. And
Right.
there's also the algorithm. If you linger on one thing, then it's
you
going to
get
show you more of
that.
it.
Yeah.
So,
So
but
it's
there's all kinds of stuff in there. There's just so much information.
right.
But the thing with we're continually evolving it. Things like TikTok, I've tried it a little bit, and I don't really spend a whole lot of time on my phone. I mean, sometimes, but TikTok was like the next thing, and I was just on it for an hour. My brain was hurting. The front of my brain, I could feel it burning,
Sure.
and then I was like, holy shit, you know, I consider myself a relatively conscious person. I meditated a lot and everything, and like it just sucked me straight in. Like I was like,
it's power.
couldn't feel
But why
resistance.
is
It was crazy.
powerful? Why
Yeah.
is it powerful?
But it was like dopamine,
Sure.
but faster
But
than
what are you
Facebook
learning?
scrolling or Instagram
What are you
scrolling.
watching on TikTok?
I just kind of learned. I didn't even have an account.
Right.
I opened the app. You don't even need an account for it. It just kind of starts learning as you start scrolling.
Yeah. And what you like.
I didn't even
think
like anything.
Oh, right.
It's just what you linger. You don't have to like. Don't even have to interact with it. You scroll, and then you linger slightly on a Buddha or something. It's like, okay, cool. And then you scroll again, and then a few down, it's going to show you another one, and you might linger on it again,
Yep.
and it's learn something. It's like, okay, you like this.
Okay.
We'll start
it's-
lining up a few of these,
Yep.
along with something else you lingered on, and it starts to customize itself
Yep.
to you.
Yeah. Okay.
And like you don't even need an account for that.
So that is the issue. It's like, what is the kid looking at?
Yeah.
Like if they're interested in something, they can learn really fast.
Yeah, true.
Like I look on spirituality on TikTok, and there's always amazing content.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm
yeah.
fully. There's always something new, and now I'm into history of the kings and queens and all the battles that happened throughout history and who took over who and there's some really great content. Like creators are now talking about moments in history on TikTok.
Yeah.
So they've like summarizing it and showing pictures. Like they're actually doing nice little videos.
Yeah.
So it's a great way to learn things.
Yeah, it's a perfect example of using it the right way too. Like you're
Right.
learning, and it's the algorithm's helping you. Like
Yeah.
it's bringing you more of what you want to learn.
Yeah.
But then it's also got the flip side, because TikTok, I'm pretty sure there's like full on nudity and just like pretty like there is graphic stuff.
Yeah.
I may have accidentally lingered on one or two, and I learned.
With women.
Oh yeah, fucking everything. So if you have the bad intentions and you linger on like or like a bad dopamine thing, then it's going to show you more, and you get sucked into the other side where it's your whole feed is just full of just horrible stuff. Yeah. So it's that's the bad side as well.
Have you tried that?
No, not really.
Well, let's try it.
Should we,
Let's do it.
just
Like
linger on
dummy
some
count and a blanket count, and then just start lingering on a particular
Okay, let's get that
dark
going.
topic.
I don't even know if I have it installed, but we'll have a look.
Because that'd be interesting. Because yes, we're told that that's the case.
Yeah. Welcome to the Dark Web podcast.
Yeah. But I really think we need to have an open mind to technology on our children.
It's already part of society.
Yeah.
Like you can't just strip it away from them now.
No.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, I grew up this way, so bloody go outside.
Yeah.
And then they go to school and they don't know the apps and the technology. They
They miss
they
out.
get bullied because of it, and
Yeah,
they grow up and there's a career in like all online stuff. A lot of careers might go online, so
You need to
then
be
it
tech
impacts their
savvy.
life.
You need to be tech savvy. Yeah.
So you can't just strip it away. But
No, I feel the same.
it's just something we
But
need
there
to work
is like there's so the way to learn, like the apps on your phone. Like I know with my kids with the like language, like ABCs and even colors and things. There's so many cool apps now that make it fun to learn.
That's true. Yeah, there's some really cool apps out there.
Oh,
there's an app for everything, pretty much.
Pretty much. And so we can learn faster. I feel.
Yeah, even for example, this like just delivery driving is what I'm doing right now, and I downloaded this app. It's called Circuit something, and you can put in all the deliveries, and it shows you the optimal route to deliver them. So even something as small as that, it just like fits in with that career, and no matter what you're doing, there's like an app that can make it a little bit easier.
I was going to ask you about that. It's like, how do you work out where to go?
Yeah, well, I haven't actually been using the app because
Okay.
I know the area all right. So, but it's good to know that's there.
Sure.
I was just experimenting a
For
little
big
bit.
cities and things, that would be pretty helpful.
You know, choose your interest. We'll just skip all choose interests.
Yep.
We don't know what we want.
Experiment.
Swipe up, bang. What are we looking at?
First video.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the turkey quake.
Oh yeah. Okay. So if we linger on that, we're
so
like,
we
oh,
lingered on
earthquakes.
that, so we're going to see more of that.
Yeah, we're gonna see a lot of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pass.
Meme. Perth right now. Oh wait, what was that?
This is the house. Something happening in Perth right now. Actually.
Okay, this is probably not good for a podcast. To be honest right now. We'll do it. We'll do it in the next. Have the result in the next podcast, right?
Yeah. Let's do it. We'll do a couple of
experiments.
Yes. Yeah. Nice. Okay, so we're sliding away from the characters.
We've gone completely off the play thing.
But not in a way, not because like gaming is
true.
The
It's
power
form
in
of
this.
play.
Like, that we had a guy Shane, the Dark Shadow, come and stay here. He was on the podcast actually.
The Dark Shadow.
The Dark Shadow. That's his name. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's cool.
But he's called the Dark Shadow. Online, there's a Kingdoms game. It's super famous. There's
Kingdoms.
I can't remember what it was called, but it's a phone app game.
Oh, like Clash of Clans or something? Was that Kingdoms? I don't know.
But he's been playing it for 5 years.
Yeah.
Non-stop each day.
Yeah.
And it's very strategic. A lot of layers to it. And like his castle now, I think he said that someone offered him 12 grand for it. Right? Because he's been building this for so long. He's got to a certain size, and they have clans, and they're always communicating, and they'll deliberately raid different kingdoms.
Yeah.
They'll all get together, and like the interaction and the skills that people are learning by learning how to be strategic and.
Yeah, I've played games like that before. They're really fun, and there can be all kinds of themes as well.
Right.
Like, I played one similar for a while. It's called Ark,
Okay.
and basically it's that, but you're in a forest, kind of with futuristic technology, but there's dinosaurs everywhere,
Mm.
and you can tame the dinosaurs
Okay.
and have an army of dinosaurs. You can ride them into battle, build bases, but it's like it's a real life dedication because when you log out, you don't just disappear. Your character just falls asleep,
right.
so people can still come and kill you. And
That's what he was saying.
yeah,
Like they all raided him
yeah.
when he was. They know when he was asleep. Like
So they just come find his unconscious avatar, just sitting in the virtual world.
and he wasn't able to defend. You know, it was, I guess, automated defense rather than his own human defense. So yeah, that so much strategy and so much cool stuff going on.
Yeah, a few times I've logged into games like that just to find my character naked in a cage. I'm just like, what has happened?
What's happened?
I was working and now I'll come back to this.
Right. Yeah, I
very
was very
interesting.
big in. There was a game, first-person game. I can't remember what it's called, but it was almost like a whole island, and they drop in, and you run
Is it Fortnite?
Fortnite.
Yeah,
no,
that's
no,
very
no, not Fortnite. No, no.
There's,
that's
there's a
more
few
like-
games like that.
But
now,
this was more realistic. It was like a zombie apocalypse type.
H1Z1.
No.
Alright.
But there was a guy on YouTube that used to just play it, and
DayZ.
Yeah,
Fuck. All right.
DayZ.
I know my games.
Yeah.
I'll find this. Yeah, I played that for a bit.
And that was
cool.
amazing because you know you're picking up different,
True.
so many different vehicles, or there was just cool.
Hell, even if you found like a can, you couldn't open it unless you found a can opener or a knife to then
Right.
open it. And if
Right.
you found the knife, there was a percentage chance you could cut yourself or something like that. It was
Yeah.
very detailed.
Yeah,
It's actually started off as a mod for a military simulator game.
yeah,
Yeah.
nice.
And it evolved into its own game.
Yep.
So that's where it gets all that technology from.
Yeah.
And all the very in-depth things
Yep.
you can do.
Yep, and you could have. I don't know. I'm sure it's still going now. Is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about Minecraft? What do you think of Minecraft?
Yeah, it's really cool.
Because
I never got into it that much
Kids
myself.
are really
but
drawn to it, like young
True.
kids, because I guess it's the simple.
I think it was very big at the time. It was basically the Fortnite, but now it's Fortnite
Yep.
because it's got a lot of that
Okay.
aspect, creation, working with teams, but
Yeah.
it gives you more freedom and it's connected to pop culture
Yeah.
too.
Okay.
So it's got that influence as well.
Right.
So it's kind of like, I think it's a good thing with pop culture. You get a wide view of a lot of things in a, I was going to say safe, but maybe safer than real life. You get a little taste of everything.
Sure.
But it is still a game, with the dopamine and everything. Like
Yep.
you said, you still need to regulate
Yep.
yourself a bit with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. It's the thing is though, like going back to. I feel we are in a video game
Yeah.
in some ways. Like
Yeah, I
there's
think
some
we're
sort
in
of
something
truth-
similar as well. Yeah,
there's
I think,
some sort of truth to it that we're just
we're so-
characters in a game.
and we're so attracted to video games and everything in pop culture now because it's familiar.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
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 Going
But
into that world.
the problem
now.
is if you're not like the game in this world, you need as much time as you can to do well in this world. And when you're playing video games like 10 hours a day, it distracts you from the real world.
Yeah, I agree. It can be a very numbing thing, like hiding away from the real world in the game. But in small bursts, it can be inspiring for certain
100%.
things.
Yeah.
Like reading a good book or watching a good movie.
Right.
As long as it's contained, you're not spending all your time there to numb yourself.
Hell yeah.
But getting those nuggets of inspiration. And a game's just an outlet for that. The same way books are. The same way hanging out with people,
Oh,
like
man.
going out for drinks.
Yep.
It's the same kind of thing. They're
Yep.
just different themes, different flavors,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. I used to have when we used like the Xbox, you could link them all together or laptops and then play
Like on a LAN type thing. Yeah.
And that was
LAN party.
that was
fun.
cool. We used to do
Yeah.
that. Play Fortnite.
Fortnite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all come together.
Mm.
So and it was just it's all getting better.
Yeah, definitely. You don't even need the LAN setup anymore.
No. This is in this like world where you just get on your smartphone and you can log into a game with somebody.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
I know. Yeah, it's amazing. And there's another game the kids are really big into at the moment, and there's like games inside the game, and like I've even bought credit at Coles for this game.
Right, I don't know what game it is. A game.
But yeah, the young kids that love it, and I
Yeah.
don't. But yeah, so they'll go and play different games inside this game.
Right, is it? I think I've
Testing it
seen
out.
something similar, but it's like, There's like this board game simulator game. So you can, get up your big gaming laptop or whatever and go in. But then in the game, you're sitting opposite another person and you're playing like Scrabble or like Monopoly or something. But it's like a virtual connection. So you can be at completely different sides of the world. As long as you get on at the same time, put on the VR headset or something, and you just sit there, you look around, everything's virtual, and you just play Scrabble with the people. I mean, it suits the COVID world, I guess, but it can be disconnecting, I think, because there's stuff in nature that's just, I mean, you can't compare in a game. With all the technology, well, maybe there is technology that could do it, but right now, where we're at, I don't think, I think there's stuff in nature we can't compare to right now.
As this, but you can't then go and jump in a spaceship right now.
No.
So there are things that you can do in games that you can't do in this reality, but maybe you can aim to be an astronaut.
True.
Right? Like that can guide you, but there's a lot of work to get there. So using that game to simulate that experience, maybe it tells you if you really want to do it or not.
Yeah, true. There's a lot of simulator games right now actually that are popping out. There's mechanics simulator.
Oh yeah.
So you go in, they've got all the details of a car, and you can go in, like, move the parts and put in the screws and fully learn
this is
mechanic.
We're creating like kids are learning.
Yeah.
But they also have to learn social skills. And they have to
absolutely.
And their bodies need to be strong.
Well, that's a bit of a dark side to it, because even speaking for myself, video games like that, even if you're online with people, it doesn't really teach proper social skills, because it's still through a mic or something. Like here, where we are now, looking into each other's eyes and just communicating. It doesn't teach stuff like that.
No.
And I think a lot of the newer generation and recent generations, there's a lot of social anxiety and just trouble with communication. It's almost a pandemic in itself.
It really is, and you get to the point where people are afraid to even communicate with each other, and they'll just send an email or a text message like that. That happens.
Or someone's calling you, and you're like, let it go out, and you're like, oh, what do you want?
Right. So you lose that personability of the person, and that's when, for me, I need to see people to like really, especially if it's something like a conversation that's more heavy.
Definitely.
Right. It's way better to actually look at somebody and talk, because how, like, you type a text message, say I don't really want to do that, and it can be interpreted in a million ways.
True. Yeah.
Right? That's why I use smiley faces.
Emojis. I was gonna say emojis seems to kind of
helps
fit into that gap a little bit.
It really does.
But it's still a language on itself. Emojis.
So it's very limited, but we have facial features and all.
I think there's an energetic aspect to it as well. If you look at the underlying energy of reality, I think something flows when you're with someone in person as well.
That's right. Yeah, I agree.
So to have the deep conversations,
big time.
It needs to be flowing.
Yeah, and that is what we've learned. I've learned here by sitting and talking to people all day long. But it's like you learn so much. You connect so much with people in person.
Yeah.
And you learn how to communicate better. So that's what you need. We need to like allow kids to play video games, but the right ones, the ones that they're interested in, but are also learning, I think.
It's a very fine line though, because it's a form of art. So it's like going to an art gallery, but only allowing the kids to see what they're interested in, but something that is learning. Right. It's like a very,
Sure. So it doesn't you're putting restrictions on.
I think
kids.
just even parents being educated, just having maybe they're not interested in games, but they're just at least brushing up on the types of games, the genres.
Yeah.
'Cause there's artistic games where it doesn't even involve much no fighting even. You just go around, you're just experiencing a trippy environment.
Sure.
Just jumping, platforming, that is the game.
Yep.
But then there could be a similar game where it's all about story and like choosing your own adventure you go through. I'm not going to list them all because they're almost like endless. There's so many.
What about
it's art?
What about Guitar Hero? Hey, Carvey, did you learn to play the guitar on Guitar Hero?
No, and I was really let down some friends because they thought because I could play really good guitar that I must be excellent. But it doesn't. actually follow the timing of the music. It follows the buttons, and if you actually have to disengage your listening to just look at the buttons to be good at it, because it doesn't. It's anti-music. It's trying to take the good timing of musicians out of. It's like to try to make people not musical.
Yeah, okay.
It's
holds
not,
hand
it
too
is-
much.
benefit.
Yeah.
It's 100% been put out there by whoever's done it,
Yeah.
using algorithms to artists to make us no artists, to remove something from us.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's no good.
Yeah, okay. Alright. Don't try Guitar Hero.
Okay. Worst review ever.
Yeah, that's good though. But he's the man to ask because I always wondered that. It was like, is that making someone a better guitarist? But
I mean, it probably
answer,
helps
we
with like
just had the
hand-eye
answer.
coordination,
Like the
but
recorder in
yeah.
primary school, to give someone a plastic recorder and teach them fuzzy wuzzy is a conspiracy to demusicify
Yeah.
our
To
children.
such simplify
They
and it's
could
like
have a beautiful. They could just have a xylophone.
yeah.
They would understand the music much better.
Yeah.
It's all laid out for them, just like a piano, and it sounds nice.
Yeah.
But no,
Yeah. The recorders are pretty
recorder
boring.
is designed.
It's the most boring
It's
instrument.
designed to make you not into musicians
Yep.
if possible, because that's what they don't want a whole world of musicians
No.
and artists.
Yep.
They want people who hate music,
Yep.
and that's what the recorder is for.
Yeah. I can see that.
I'm not sure if I believe
Because
it.
100%
I
true.
played the
Yeah,
recorder.
It's 100% true.
Well, I'm an
I'm convinced.
I'm an example of that because we played. I played
Luckily
the
for me,
recorder.
I was taught beautiful songs as
Right.
a child.
Yeah, you're in a community.
Mm.
You know, so yeah, fascinating.
Yes.
You want to join us, Cavi? You're more than welcome.
No, I'm
Carvy.
End on the mic.
maybe.
I just
Here we
turned
get
it.
this going.
It's good. We get
I've got.
Yeah.
I turn this on when he's.
Oh, really?
speaking.
Okay. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, no. Okay, so we'll go back to characters because
Characters.
it
sure.
allows you to. Video games allow you to be that avatar of whoever the fuck you want, which is
Yep.
really amazing.
Sometimes it's set as a single character though, like you can't change it. Like you
Ah.
are that character, that personality.
Yeah. Okay.
So
you
it's
can't
like
change-
takes you along the ride,
like
like from
Zelda.
seeing through that person's eyes.
Yeah.
you know.
Okay. But then there's other games where you can be
You
the
can
wizard,
fully create your
the
character.
elf.
Yeah. You can be anything. Yeah.
Yeah, the magician. Yeah.
Like those Dungeons and Dragon games.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're cool.
Yeah, I love them. But
Mm.
I never had. I had a child when I was 19, so it was my son Hayden,
Mm.
and I never actually had time, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But it's
You still
always
got
in the-
time. We'll
yeah,
get a
yeah.
gaming setup in here.
I don't. Well,
A gaming room somewhere. Yeah.
well, I've thought someone could stream on
Mm.
Twitch, play video games,
True. Yeah.
and you could do it at the Lighthouse, right? That could be one little way to broadcast.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
Just play
yeah.
games and
It's
yeah,
it's a big
stream it.
thing. Definitely.
It's
Mm.
huge, yeah.
Yeah.
What game would you choose?
Oh, I don't know. I feel like I'd probably just choose something that I've never played. I know nothing about, but do no research into it and just play it. So it's like an authentic kind of,
start from scratch.
you know, even if I'm like,
Yeah.
you know, my confusion can be part of it as well.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
and the journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. True.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well,
That'd be cool.
if you want to do that, that'd be a cool little thing to set up,
It would.
and you
yeah.
could get it to the point where you make money out of it.
Yeah, you have to build up a hell of a following.
Yeah.
Same way as like, you know, podcasts, YouTube videos.
But you don't realize if you're streaming here, and you've got all these people coming in
Mm.
and dropping in.
True. Guest appearances
Guest
constantly
appear-
all the time.
Yeah, there's always a different person. It could be quite fun.
It'll probably
Have
have to
your-
be a game that's like very like bang bang bang, not a long story one, because you'd come in, you just see like it's coming in like halfway through a movie and just
Oh,
seeing like
yeah.
a tiny bit.
I don't know. If it's a complicated game, people are pretty interested.
Yeah,
You could be showing them.
it'd have to be gameplay orientated, I reckon.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's think about. All right,
Mm.
but the point of the avatar, the idol, the person that you're pretending to be. Like for me, I feel there's a reason why it's the second commandment in the 10 Commandments. Thou shalt not have idols. Like the first one is, thou shalt not worship any other gods apart from me.
Yeah, it's not a red flag.
Right? Yeah. Well, Yeah, it's interesting that's why does that have to be number one? And it's
Yeah.
like, well, if there's only one God, why do I have to worry? Right? In a monotheistic religions.
I guess from their point of view, it would basically be very similar to the second. Then it's like, you know, worshipping other gods, other idols, other characters, right?
Yeah.
Because I mean, I'm not entirely. I don't know the full beliefs of that and where it all comes from, but I guess it makes sense for them. God would be everything, right? Which is like modern spirituality. It's like the universe, source, and everything. But then they're also saying that if you identify with something, the archetype or the character, that's wrong because you're identifying with just like a small aspect of God. You're not accessing the full experience, I guess.
I don't think it's that. I think the reason is because they the religion wants to be as large as possible.
Yeah.
And by coming in and converting people,
Oh yeah, definitely.
right? It's like you only can worship our God, not your.
I was just trying
God.
to see where they were coming from, like see if there was any grain of truth. Then
I think
It's
it's
definitely
just
been,
purely a power
used.
power thing to increase your numbers.
Mm.
Yeah, but it also my feeling like with the thou shalt not have idols, because I see an idol as a mentor, someone that you look up to as an idol, and it's like, well, what idols do we have in the world right now? Like, who can we look up to and go, wow, I want to be like him? And for me, probably the best one is Elon Musk, Joe Rogan. Those are probably the two guys that I'd idolize. And we're not allowed to do that as a Christian, which is fucking crazy because
they do that to an extent with saints, right?
Saints, yeah, but I don't want like idolize a saint. To me,
They have their patron saints, like
yeah,
they have you kind of like the
okay. So these are
Hindu,
the
they
ones
have
you're
the
allowed
deities,
to
right?
idolize. These
yeah.
saints.
So it's definitely controlled, but they still do it in their
Yeah. But
system,
they're
I
under
guess.
they're under the banner of the religions.
Yeah.
They're not outside that.
but they're still down like separate. Well, not separate, but they're different from the concept of God. So they're a lot of them were actual people.
Yeah.
That they walk in the footsteps of.
Sure.
I think that's what I mean by archetypes, because it doesn't even have to be a real person. It could just be like the energy of a character, like a fictional character with their specific personality traits.
Exactly. Yeah.
But it's I've always seen it as kind of like a mindset tool. So if you go to the gym, say you step into the archetype of like
Arnie.
Arnie, and you embody his energy, and you go, and that serves you well at the gym.
That's
You
right.
put in that extra effort, like you are Arnie. You lift heavier. You put in more effort, and then when you walk out of the gym, you're like, cool. Now I'm going to use the energy of another archetype. Maybe like a restful archetype, someone who likes to sit back on a throne, a king. So you
100%.
finish the gym, you sit back on your throne, you rest in a strong way while your muscles recover. You're not Arnie anymore, but you use that energy for a specific
Right.
objective, really.
And this is what I see as well. It's like it's beneficial to have someone to look up to.
Yeah.
Someone
true.
to idolize. But like, I don't understand, or maybe I do, but why it would be in the 10 Commandments, like as being
true.
such a huge number 2 on the list. Thou shalt not have
That's
idols.
a good point. Yeah.
Right, because so we've got a couple of modern idols. I would say, like Jesus, like the way he's been shown to us, I don't see him as an idol, because I see him as he was hung on the cross. He didn't have many followers. The impression I've been handed down to is that he was quite weak. He wasn't a warrior. He wasn't some dude carrying an axe around. He wasn't some Viking warrior. But he was. He didn't have any magic. He was just a regular guy who was speaking the truth. Where, if you have in the past, like the Greeks and the Romans, and I think going way back, the gods that those people had, the past great people that existed that they talked about. You know, have you seen Troy?
No, I don't think I have.
Ah, okay.
Well,
You've got to watch it.
Maybe when I was a
It's
kid,
with
I
Brad
don't know.
Pitt.
I think I've seen it years ago.
It's an amazing movie, but he's is it Ulysses or my names of things is
What? Yeah,
it was the let me look it up. Okay, but the
w-
point
w-
is
with the Jesus thing though, he showed. I mean, if you just take the stories that
Troy.
we're told, he did show a different kind of strength, the strength of surrender.
Mhm.
Because he would go through, he gets tortured, get pushed along,
Right.
but just contently going along with
Yeah,
it, which
so-
can be seen as a kind of weakness, but it's also like he's just going with the flow.
right, but
Like, okay, this is.
but
this
can
is-
you
it's like a
see?
strength in
Could you
that.
see the maybe why he's been shaped that way?
Yeah.
Right?
If I guess something else
Because
could have happened. They could have presented that to make
he
us like
he
just
may have
surrender, go
he
with
may
the
have
flow.
been a
the-
totally different man,
True.
but he's
Yeah.
been twisted into being this person. Exactly what you said. It's like who just allowed shit to happen,
Yeah.
and he didn't fight back.
Yeah. True.
Right? It's like, oh yeah, okay, you want to put me on cross? Okay, no worries.
Mm.
I'm not going to try and escape, or I'm going to try create a rebellion.
And
or
this
I'm not
is
gonna
the
try
example you should all follow.
And, yeah. It's subtle.
That's a good point.
Subtle
yeah.
programming. And if you look at the past gods and goddesses, like Odin, you know, he's this great warrior, king,
Mm.
like chieftain, but he was also he was a priest. He was a priest king who had the ability of foresight, who could connect with the animals.
Mm.
He had two crows that he could talk to, and they told him what was happening in the world.
Yeah.
He was a chieftain. There's thought that he was actually the chieftain of the 12 tribes of the Israelites. He brought them into Jerusalem. There's lots of stories, but
Mm.
there is that story, the idea that he brought the Israelite tribes from the Black Sea region where Noah was when the ark, like this is this timeline. They came out of that area and brought the tribes to Jerusalem. And
Okay.
and that Jesus is actually Odin. Yeah.
That's a cool twist.
Yeah. I've seen a few videos that there's quite a lot of evidence to say it could be possible.
Because the cross is also associated with Norse mythology, isn't it?
Yeah. There's the cross symbology is. I think it's before the actual cross where he was nailed to. There's way more to know than I feel than we're being told.
Yeah.
But yeah, the point is that he's a great idol. It's like that's the type of person you want to be as a spiritual seeker.
Mm.
You want to be seeking that. I want to have special powers. I want to be strong and powerful.
Mm.
I want to have all these things. And so
I
that's
guess it
where
depends on the
Hercules,
person too, 'cause-
Achilles.
Yeah. But also the people in those mythologies, they've got different deities for different types of energies, you know. Like there's Freya, like
which one do you want to be?
fertility and is it war, I think, or something?
Yeah,
She's
Freya.
she's a badass.
Yeah.
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 But even Loki, the god of mischief,
Mhm.
and you know they're all
Loki. Yeah.
on a similar level. So it also makes sense that humans reflect that a little bit too, or maybe they are
Freya.
aspects of humans as well.
Right.
Like we've all got a little bit of each of them in us. Some are more
Exactly.
dominant than the others.
But maybe maybe we do have certain characteristics that will make us. You achieve those states of enlightenment and those superpowers, or like the Hindus call them siddhis. That's like you attain those and you're good at certain things. Maybe,
Mm.
yeah. So, but why not strive for that? Why not aim as high as possible? Why not be? Because you hear about like Hercules and the 12. So going back, Freya, she was the queen of Odin. Is a goddess associated with love, beauty, fertility, sex, war, gold, and Seda, which is magic.
Mm.
Freya. Freya rules over her heavenly field, Folkvanga, where she receives half of those who die in battle. The other half go to Odin's hall, Valhalla.
Valhalla.
I'm not sure if she was married to Odin. But yeah, this is the thing. I feel that these gods and goddesses from the past are there for humans to look up to.
And act
to
as archetypes as well.
Archetypes,
Yeah.
exactly the same.
Because they're all the extremes of specific energies.
Right.
So if you need to, like I was saying, do something and step into a certain role, you can choose one of the deities, the gods.
Yeah.
But there's different flavors with that too, like the Hindu deities,
Yeah.
Christian saints,
Yeah.
Norse mythology with Odin and everyone, Greek, and they're all quite similar in their extremes of different energies. They're all act as archetypes.
Yep. You know, Julius Caesar. It's so
The salad.
he got to such a legendary status by his people. I think he was a great ruler of the time. Like it's a long time ago. So how do you know what's written about him is true? But the fact is that his name was Caesar, and that every other ruler after that was named Caesar. Tells you that he was a pretty special guy.
Yeah, true.
Right.
Yeah.
He created
Like the idol.
yeah,
Maintain
the idol,
through
yeah,
the
and
ruling.
so having that idol for all the other rulers to be like
True.
creates them to want
Also,
to be
the
like
energy
that.
he brought to ruling had a certain effect
Yeah.
that was very popular.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, we want to keep this energy going. Let's name,
Right.
we carry on the name, carry on the the way of things, the energy,
Yeah.
the archetype to step into,
Yeah.
to get
So-
for the good of the whole civilization.
Yeah. Yeah. It's for the good of the civilization to keep people wanting to be their best. And I look now at modern politicians, and like who do you look up to? Like who would you choose as a example? I don't know who I
I'm
can
not
think
that
of
well
actually.
versed in politics, really. I don't really follow it, so I don't know the people by name.
What
to
about thinking
follow.
like world politics? Like who stands out to you as someone who, even with the limited knowledge, was doing a good job? Anyone?
I'm not sure, really.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd have to sit
Well,
with
isn't that
think about
sad?
it. Yeah.
Isn't that sad? Because it's like there aren't very many.
Yeah. I mean, there might be. I just don't know about them,
Right.
really.
Well, yeah.
haven't been presented with them.
But these are like rulers of the free world.
Yeah,
You know,
true.
like it's like, should we not
Yeah.
be more?
I know it's very unpopular to follow as well. Like I meet a lot of people that don't really, including myself, don't know much about the way it works really.
Yeah, yeah. We're all disenfranchised.
Yeah, true. We're just kind of like just going with it.
Yeah, I haven't.
I don't know where we're going. But
Yeah, no, I'm
Yeah.
I'm very disenfranchised with the political system. Like I don't pay any attention to it now.
yeah,
But I am interested in ways that the system can be organized better.
But
So
that
how do we
is
create
politics, isn't it?
how do we create a more holistic system in harmony for the people? Like that's to me, that's what we need to be looking towards. Like we realize that the system we've got is broken.
Not entirely broken.
Well-
I think it serves its purpose, but we need more.
No, well,
We need to add to it.
how do you judge what's a system is working and a system is not?
Guess we're all here doing different things, just getting along with life. But there is a certain amount of freedom to go and choose where you work, and like we're here now doing this. If that system wasn't there, we'd have to be protecting this place and from people coming, and there's a certain level of safety and
There-
certain level of freedom in what we can believe, and so I think it's doing something right. I think it's shaking a bit now, so there are things we're going to have to work out, but we do have momentum behind us. I think we just need to take the wheel of the ship, sort out a few things, but I think we should keep the momentum going, not necessarily destroy everything and restart. I think it would just be more optimal to keep adding to it, because there's a lot of pressure on the current system. it's not enough. It's not fulfilling everything we need.
Mm.
But it's doing some things. We just need like the other parts of the puzzle to get a more complete picture. I think what you're saying, we do need more like community and a holistic way of doing it. I 100% agree with that. But not at the cost of the other other side.
Yeah, I think I don't know if we talked about it, but like in Bhutan they have a happiness index.
Oh, what? Sorry.
Happiness index
Happiness index.
for their people.
Oh yeah. Okay. That's
So
cool.
like rather than the GDP index of the country, they have a happiness index, and they may have GDP as well. You know, gross domestic product. It's just like the manufacturing output for the country.
So they measure the happiness of the
people.
in general.
Right.
That's cool.
Do you know what
It's a
would
good
happen
stat to
if
pay
we
attention
measured the
to.
happiness of the people of
Wouldn't be
the
that great.
world right now? It's fucking disastrous.
Well, yeah.
Look at, you just have to, okay, here's this, I've been almost quoting this as like, what is the percentage of Australians on antidepressants? What is the percentage of Australians antidepressants? What do you reckon it is?
I don't know. Maybe like 40. About
So
40.
it's-
Some rough
it
guess.
says here an antidepressant is now one of Australia's most commonly prescribed drugs, but why? So it's called sertraline 100. It
There a
says the
percentage?
drug is at commonly okay, so it's 25 defined daily doses per day. What does that mean? 25%?
What did it say?
25.7 defined daily doses per day, narrowly ahead of common diabetes drug metformin at 25. It must be 25%. Prescription drugs rose by 13 and 22% over the 8 weeks to the end of June. Wow. Take antidepressants. They're overused in people who are not likely to benefit, but at the same time they tend to be underused in people with severe depression. Anyway, I guess the point is let's find this. I'd love to know what this percentage is. What percent of population is on antidepressants?
I think it might be good for some people, but it just helps the symptoms, not necessarily the cause of the unhappiness. So it can give that breathing room for people to then dig deeper. But yeah, I think a lot of people also use it as just the cure-all, you know, just a way of life. Just have to have it every day just to feel good, and that's it.
Yeah, but does that not tell you that something's not right?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Right, there's something out of sorts.
Yep.
They're saying the US 58% of the population is on antidepressants.
Wow. Yeah.
That's
Nice.
that's telling me that the system is wrong,
Mm.
and we need to correct it. Right? And how we do it, we got to start talking about it. Because what about suicide rates? You know?
Mm.
I remember reading like there was no suicide in Nepal or Tibet. It's just the Western countries. What is different to what they're doing? It's causing this
They have a
complete
more
failure of
emphasis on spirituality, like
Yeah.
it's
and family connection.
yeah, it's a way of life. Yeah.
Yeah, like suicide. Like, why? The more I think of it, the more I can't understand why we're not talking about this more.
Mm.
Like, you talk about a system that, yeah, okay, we're rich,
Mm.
but we're poor. We're poor in our mental state, our heart space, very poor, and it's a real problem that somehow no one. That's what do they call it? The elephant in the room that no
Yeah.
one wants to talk about.
Yeah.
It's like suicide, and especially like what about COVID? When 3 years of fucking locking people down, and
Mm.
we're still not talking about the mental health effects that happen. Like I was talking to one girl here that was locked down in Melbourne,
Yeah.
and she was saying they had no money, couldn't go to work, no money, had to pay rent, And they were
So what do you
like
do? You just-
travelers. They were travelers.
Yeah.
So they couldn't get any handouts for a while. It's very stressful, and it created a lot of trauma in people.
Mm.
And has anyone seen the suicide rates over the since COVID started, in comparison to previously? Suicide rates. But anyway, I guess the point is
We're talking about play, right?
you play. Yeah,
And
yeah, we've
suicide
gone
rates.
off. So why did we go there though? I guess it's saying that we don't have anyone to look up to. And if you looked, if people had someone to look up to, like Arnie was such a fucking, he was the man for so many people.
I think there
Well,
are still people,
Well, who?
but it depends on like the person.
Sure.
For me, I quite like the like fictional characters in pop culture. Like it's the energies behind them that I like. But for other people that maybe know more about politics, maybe they have a favorite politician that they agree with the way they're doing things. I think it just depends on the person, really.
Yeah.
But I think there's almost a lot more now than there was before, because there's still all those people. There's still, like you're saying, Arnie, like he's still there. I think he's the governor of Texas now.
Nah.
So, yeah, he's doing like different stuff, like strength in
He
politics.
was California.
It might be California.
Yeah,
I'm not sure. He's
yeah.
a governor of a state.
He
somewhere.
was for a while. He's not now though.
He's not anymore.
No. But yeah, California, which is a huge state. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Okay.
even if you liked him just as like a gym inspiration, like it's still there. You can see all his pictures and the energy. It's still there. It's just been added to the world and he's evolved into something else, which is a different energy. He's stepped into another archetype.
Sure. But
But they're all still there. You can go back. You can, if you want, you can, follow Jesus as well, and he can be your archetype if you feel
Right.
that. And he's still there. It's still that image. In the
But what
world.
about Hercules?
Yeah, Hercules can be your archetype.
Like-
You can use the energy in the modern world.
Yeah.
They're all still there. We just keep adding more and more and more. So there's more options, more maybe confusion as well.
But I
But-
don't think there
yeah.
are more options, because I don't see any people that are worth.
But you're looking at people, not the archetype.
Yeah,
they're
no,
embodying.
I'm because mentors,
Like yeah,
someone,
okay.
real life people,
Yeah.
who are just blitzing it in life, who have found their thing and they're just like really going good. I see that with Elon. He's now he's got a electric car company and a rocket company.
Yeah, I mean he embodies the art of play in his life too. Like, hey, you heard his podcast with Joe Rogan?
Yeah,
He's very playful in that.
he's
Like,
a great guy.
I remember one time, like I think Joe Rogan was saying something like, "Oh, so you're selling flamethrowers online?"
Yeah,
And he's just like, "Yep." Like,
yeah, exactly.
why?
Like,
Just because I can.
yeah, and you hear him talk about the driving the Tesla. He wanted to make it like a game.
Yeah, true.
It's like, let's make it fun. Driving a car is one of the coolest things you can do.
Yeah.
Let's make it cool.
Embodying that play. Just like,
Yeah.
cool, let's do it on.
Embodying the play, and that's the
Might buy
sort of.
Twitter.
But for me, that's who I idolize, because he's this creating amazing things in the world, but he's still playing.
Yeah.
You see his
I see the
tweets.
balance.
Yeah, he's always in that play mode.
Yeah.
And maybe not always, but that's what people are drawn to him. Like he's a whole following of like probably teenagers who are like love memes, and he plays memes with them. You see him on TikTok, he's always memeing.
Yeah, true.
He's the so
It's memeing.
yeah, memeing. Have you ever heard of a meme stream?
A meme stream. Maybe.
Oh.
Oh yeah, it's like people react to memes, right? And they
Right.
stream themselves
Yeah.
reacting to other.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, it's
Right. Fascinating.
anything that's fun to watch, right?
Yeah. So, for me, like my idol is Odin.
Yeah.
Like that's who I strive to be. It's like this
mine's,
man.
That man right there.
Ah,
That's the Witcher.
The Witcher.
Mr. Geralt of Rivia. Yeah, he's beautiful.
Is that a TV show?
It's a game. It's a
Ah,
book. It's a TV show.
So what is he? Can I see?
Yeah, it's just
What's
the wallpaper.
What's? Oh, it's a girl.
No, it's a.
I thought you said she.
Fuck off. let me find a good
Hey, that's
picture of this
okay.
beautiful man.
If you want to embrace the feminine, archetype, that's great.
Okay.
Right, we should embrace our feminine.
Let me find.
Okay, that's a good
'Cause I said
question.
if you- yeah.
Who, if you...
There he is.
Oh, wow.
It's him.
There's a big Germanic
Yep.
Viking. And
I've
that's
always liked women, but this guy's got me thinking.
yeah. Well, it's like, of course, like you want to see them as like amazing.
Yeah, well, it's more
Right.
like the flavor and style of masculinity that he embodies.
Yep.
It's very
Yeah. So what's his name?
calm
Witcher.
and strong. Geralt,
Geralt.
like Geralt of
Geralt.
Rivia.
Geralt. Okay, so that's it. This is what kids are getting, these archetypes.
Yeah, well, that's a good.
But
Research him,
'cause
like
he's not.
the way he is, and
He's not in the mainstream.
Yeah, he
Hercules
is.
is.
oh, he's in the pop culture mainstream. He's
pop
massive
culture.
right now,
Yeah, right.
like really massive. yeah.
Really.
100%. Yeah, he's big.
Wow. And
But the character itself, as well as
Yeah.
like the different, like the show is,
So-
it's big as well.
so it's a TV show.
Yeah, and one of the best video games ever made.
Wow.
And that's not just my opinion.
Yeah.
That I would say is a
And-
very, very popular opinion.
And what's the aim?
It's kind of like a story-based one. So he's a kind of a monster hunter in a kind of a medieval world where there was like a conjunction which kind of connected with the world, and different dimensions and monsters came through, and it's just littered the world with these creatures that don't fully belong in the world. So it's kind of a mixture. But then humans kind of mutated some humans to become almost more than human. They're much faster, have a high metabolism. There's the whole science behind it.
Wow.
And he is a witcher. And they just like fight the monsters, protect the humans, kind of like pest control.
Wow.
So if there's a monster in the woods that's, maybe got a few people,
Yep.
they hire a witcher, like a mercenary, to go out there and deal with it, because they're the
Ah.
main people, the
Yeah, yeah.
professionals to go to.
Well, that's how they
Um,
used to do it. Here
yeah.
in India with the tigers.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, tigers.
Indian witches.
Yeah, but it was. I heard there's some English hunters.
Mm.
They'll go and try and kill the tiger
Oh yeah.
with their big guns, and it's like, but tigers killed thousands of people in India, like quite regularly.
Mm.
I'm not sure how many people per year, but yeah. So they went in. There was these game hunters that went in. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
So that's who you strive to be.
It's more that's the law behind
Yeah.
what he is, what a witcher is. But himself, it's he's got a very calm, stoic, but very strong masculinity about him, which I
Nice.
respect, and I aim to embody that in my life. So
Nice.
that's where I get that inspiration from. And he's also,
Indeed.
witches are hated in this world. People spit as they walk past. They're not human.
Ah.
They're worse than beggars. But I see him as badass. I think most people see the character as badass.
Yeah.
So it kind of makes sense. Like, as long as you have a certain image of yourself,
Yep.
it doesn't matter if everyone hates you. It's all
Yep.
about the image,
Yeah.
You take a step back, and it doesn't matter what people think. You
Yeah.
have to have that confidence, and
Fascinating.
your view is like the main one that matters in your own life.
Yeah.
So
And-
that's kind of stuff I learned a lot from that game. Hence why I use that as an inspiration.
I love it. It's exactly what I've been saying,
Yeah.
or trying to explain to you, but you already do it.
yeah. Yeah.
So
Oh yeah, I guess it's just the words we use, like archetypes, idols,
I-
mentors. It's all,
Yeah.
it's different words for each people. But
Mm.
that's, I guess, the energy behind
So-
what I use.
So the interesting thing is, like with Hercules or
Mm.
Heracles, or he's got a few names. So this guy, whether he was real or not, like people looked up to him.
Yeah.
Throughout the ages, Hercules was the person. He is supposedly half god, half human.
Mm.
His dad, I think maybe Zeus or someone, was a god, and he slept with a queen or a princess. I think that's how it works. But yeah, the people looked up to them because that's the sort of archetype they needed to be to survive in the world
Yeah,
and to be successful.
So I guess the nature of they're very different. Like the Witcher for me is like just about that masculinity. But
Yeah,
then
which we've-
there's different characters,
Right.
even if they're not real. They're just like
Right.
creations.
But that masculinity, we don't have it in this age at the moment.
I think we do a bit now. Now that's out there, it's very mainstream, like you
Oh,
said.
yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks to this guy I just heard about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel that Hercules in the past, and plus all these other stories of like Odin, like this is why we had them, is to inspire people
Yeah, and set the example.
to be their best.
Yeah.
It's like, this is possible. You get to this point, right? Get to there. Aim for that.
Yeah.
But at the moment, we don't have. We're maybe this high.
I don't know. I think I'm more optimistic. I think about this age. For example, like there's another example. Batman. Batman's through a few generations now. It started off as comics, and it's carried on. It's still going strong now. If anything, it's had momentum.
Yep.
And his whole story is like he's in a world of powered people, superheroes, but he is just a man with money. But his whole story is about how he, had a deep fear, trauma. His parents are killed, but then he went and he trained, traveled the world, and he became the peak human physically and mentally. He had to come to terms with his fear. He did a lot of shadow work, and he used his shadow as his power. Because he was terrified of bats, so he embodies his shadow and fights for a cause.
Right.
And I think that's
Okay.
like a strong...
That's the idea of a superhero.
Yeah.
We didn't mention superheroes.
That's
but
true, yeah, they're very big
exactly.
now, yeah.
That is
a lot of movies
like
out
Marvel.
superheroes. Yeah.
Everyone, it's like they're showing people that but it's unfortunately with Marvel, it's like they've morphed into these like semi-human beings.
Yeah.
How many of the superheroes are just a human with fucking special skills? Superman, but he was from another planet, wasn't he?
He was, yeah.
Yeah, but like how many just humans with a sword? Like everyone,
Batman?
Batman, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Batman, because he uses
But they've all got pretty
technology.
interesting
Spider-Man.
explanations about their
Yeah.
powers, though, which
Right.
also reflect real human situations as well. So even if they are like Superman, for instance, he was like on another planet. His planet was destroyed. They sent him, the only one. But in Earth, he's not necessarily super strong or anything. Just in that different atmosphere on a different planet, he's like an alien. He doesn't fit in, but he absorbs the rays of the sun, which makes him strong.
Is that
So
where he
he's
gets his power?
Yeah, it's
From
just
the
the sun
sun.
rays. It's just
Wow.
science. Just in a different planet, in a different environment, he just becomes stronger. His body was just built differently. So the sun's a lot closer.
Okay,
so
the
he
sun
absorbs the
affects his skin, but he becomes more powerful through
Yeah,
the sun.
yeah, and it's all about
Wow.
he's not affected by gravity as much, hence why he can fly. So it's not just he can magically fly, he can magically super strong. There's
Sure.
a interesting science behind it, how they explain it.
Amazing.
So I guess it's all about even if you don't fit in, you can find your individual strength.
Yeah.
So there's lessons like that, even if they're not human, ingrained in each hero.
I agree.
So it's interesting that they've got such a variety of superheroes now in Marvel, for example, but they're basically just like modern Norse mythology,
Yep.
pop culture.
Yes. Yeah.
Each one is an extreme of a certain energy, an archetype.
Yeah.
So these archetypes, they keep popping up in different ways.
They really do.
Yeah, for different people, different generations. It's still going, I think. It's just you gotta look into it, like dig into these characters, like why are they this? Why are they that? And you can see some interesting stuff.
You can't see me like that. It's all good. Yeah, that's awesome,
It's just
Logan.
been me talking the whole time.
No, awesome. I just
As a
thinking
guy here, I swear,
it's probably
I'm not talking to myself.
it's probably time that we can wrap it up. Just a quick.
Yeah, I need a
potty.
piece so bad. I've been liking the conversations. I'm holding it in, but
Yeah.
I'm.
That was good. That was
Yeah.
a great topic because
Yeah, true.
we went round and we came back,
True. Yeah.
which is always a good thing.
Yeah.
It's like
The
go off
cycle
into
of a
the
podcast.
Yeah.
Conversation.
Yeah. So lovely. Appreciate your time, and we should do it again.
Sounds good.
Think of some more topics, and we'll.
Okay.
I mean, these
Although
are.
There's a fact that I've been wanting to. The whole reason I had this art of play in life is
Yeah.
because I wanted to drop this one fact,
Okay.
but it didn't pop up.
All right, please.
Just
do.
The play is a natural part of our evolution, I think. So I think it's otters. Is it otters? I think it's otters or something. But they've got they have little rocks that they play with. But they biologically have a little pouch for their play rock.
What?
Like evolution has evolved so they
So
can
they got a
hold their
rock.
specific play rock. So they're floating down the river and they're like, oh, I need a bit of play. Pull out their little play rock, have a little play, tuck it back in their pouch. They've had a bit of a play.
No
It's good.
way.
So it's just incredible that evolution has evolved to make room for play. Like that's how important it is.
That's amazing.
It is, isn't
Amazing
it?
fact.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting. How does evolution evolve a pocket for otter?
For their play rock. I don't know.
How does
I don't know.
how does
Maybe
the
it's something to have a look at.
because
and
we're told
yeah.
survival of the fittest. So,
Yeah.
but how does that having
Survival
a rock?
of the most playful.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fascinating. That's a good topic. Darwinism and survival of the fittest and
True.
evolution. I'd love to talk about that
Yeah.
because I was about to
sounds good.
start, and I'm like, what?
Okay.
It's a big
Maybe that
topic.
can be the topic for the next. I think I need to brush up a little bit on that
Yeah,
myself.
yeah. Okay, so
we'll-
evolution and survival of the
I
fittest.
have to reread *Sapiens*. or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, let's do some research and then we can come back.
Sounds good. You
I love it.
do the research here with a notebook. I'll go over in the bloody book corner and
Yeah.
get hard at work. And
Yeah. Nice. Okay, we'll reconvene a later
Sounds
point
good.
soon. Thank you, everybody.
yeah. Thanks for watching.
I'd love to hear if you have any feedback, even that you're getting on our chat. That's a future thing. Get people up on our chat, and we can start interacting with you guys.
Yeah.
So, all right, much love.